Aaron showed up for this felony revenge porn charge that he had against Kayla Rekieta, Nick Rekieta's wife. And of course, I'm sure you guys remember he went for the sentencing hearing back on June 25th. And he already had a plea deal in place. So this was going to be easy peasy. Walk in, pay my $50 fine.
High five, everyone.
High five, everyone. Yep. See you guys next year. Right. but instead, things did not go the way that Aaron was hoping. And he was sentenced to some jail time. Now, our buddy Will Heron wrote up an article about this. And you got to love Will's articles because he does not like Aaron Imholte at all. Listen to this headline. Ostracized from terrestrial radio, pretend morning DJ Aaron Imholte gets 15 days in jail for disseminating revenge porn. Tells court behind tears, all praise be to Jesus Christ, the main God. Have mercy on my soul. And the photo they picked is from Schizo Sean's Twitter, which is fantastic. He looks like he's doing a silly walk.
Yeah, it's John Cleese.
Yes, that's what it looks like. I don't know how a man could be so awkward. It's really incredible. You been following this, Adam? You been following this saga?
I have, as best I can. It is wild.
I went on and did a little emergency stream yesterday with Moody. And we were waiting because, boots on the ground, obviously, were there in St. Cloud, Minnesota. We were waiting for some people to call in or post things online. And so there was a lot of speculation, a lot of talk about what had been going on leading up to the trial. And then at the very end, we found out 15 days, sentenced to 15 days in jail. So we did at least get to have some kind of payoff at the end. We weren't edging the whole time. We did complete that episode. But so much has come out since then, and so we have to discuss this. It says, court recommends 15 days to be served in jail for basement broadcasting, forced to resign radio morning host Aaron Imholte. This after a second pretrial violation for his conditional release. Now, let me explain what this is. What Aaron did was he was booked the day after Labor Day of 2024, and he had conditions put on him, because he was arrested for a felony and for a gross misdemeanor. And so when he posted bail, there are conditions to that bail to not be in jail waiting for your trial. And one of them was, you are not to speak of Kayla Rekieta. You are not to say anything about this woman. Don't keep her name out your mouth, I believe the judge said. But they also said, and if Kayla Rekieta is brought up on any show by anyone on a show that you control, that is also against these conditions. And what Aaron did is he went to Florida for vacation and went, people are going to be tuning in for the toe. I got to have a show on here because he thinks he's doing morning radio. Someone's got to fill in for me. I'll have to run a best of package. So he got Keanu and Geno to fill in for him the 2 days he was gone in Florida. And boy, does Geno like talking shit about Kayla Rekieta.
Good old reliable Geno.
Yeah, so that was a violation against the release conditions, and that was back in, I couldn't even tell you, May maybe is when he went to Florida, something like that. So then that's why when he went in June, he thought he had this plea deal. They're like, oh, no. We're not taking this. The judge was like, no, we're not doing this. So then Aaron had his 11th anniversary show at Stoney's, and Geno was booked for the low price of $3,000 to perform a stand-up set. And Geno decided, in that stand-up set, now he didn't say Kayla's name, but he talked about a woman who has 5 kids and made a lot of other descriptors that everyone knew who he was talking about, and then disparaged her quite a bit. Now, don't get me wrong, I just saw Sam Morrill at the Comedy Club this past weekend. He also does a tight 10 on Kayla Rekieta. It's pretty common in stand-up comedy to go after Nick Rekieta's wife. And it's
pretty much hack at this point.
It's a trend for sure. I believe Theo Vaughn did 30 minutes on his Netflix special about Kayla. So it kind of makes sense that he would do that. But that was brought up the day before this sentencing hearing that Aaron had yesterday, the 30th of September. And so then Aaron had to put in affidavit that showed a screenshot where he told Geno don't talk shit about Kayla because Nick's going after us hard. He's looking for anything to use to get us. So obviously you could tell by that text message that Aaron's concerned about the victim in this and doesn't want any more harm caused. It's fucking crazy. He's the one who submitted that to the court. It's so funny. Anyway, moving on. Let's get back to Will's. Now that I've explained all of that, let's get back to Will's article. It says Tuesday, YouTuber Aaron Imholte was sentenced to 364 days in jail by the Stearns County Court, but will only have to serve 15. Along with the jail time, Imholte will be under supervised probation for 2 years. He will be required to pay $1,000 plus the $50 originally requested. Imholte must take a diagnostic assessment test, which he will pay for, and must follow all of the given recommendations. Plus, the convicted revenge porn disseminator must provide a sample of his DNA. Now, this diagnostic assessment test, I'll get into that more. Remind me if I don't, because I have information on that I find fascinating. News 15 spoke with the victim's husband, Nick Requeda, after the sentence. We are thankful for the diligent work of the county attorney and the fair judgment from this court. Hopefully, this stops his routine abuse of women. We can only help. In a surprise to Judge Heidi Schultz's court, the prosecutor asked that Imholte be taken to jail immediately so that the sentence can begin. Imholte's defense attorney, Todd Peterson, was told that in misdemeanor offenses, the defendant is usually asked to report in at a designated date, not after the sentencing. Imholte's report date is October 17th. According to those in attendance, after the victim read her impact statement, Peterson attacked what was said, arguing the only crime he is charged with is sending an exposed nipple to one person and that the state does not have the picture, adding, because it does not exist.
Oh.
I didn't hear about that. I hope the person who was there gets in here so we can talk about that. In April of 2025, Imholte did admit to the court that he did send the picture. He also admitted on his show.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. The original sentencing date was June 25th, but continued to October 2nd due to pretrial release conditions violations. Pearson then filed a request for a delay due to being out of the county. Judge Schultz decided that she would not move the sentencing date up in order to best accommodate the defense and the prosecution, that she would move it up. On September 29th, a day before the sentencing, the court notified Imholte he had once again violated his order of pretrial condition release, as we just talked about. The violation came from a drunken, vile, curse-riddled diatribe from his paid associate, Geno Bisconte, who spewed insults directly at the revenge porn victim. This meltdown took place on June 26, 2025, during it should be 11-year anniversary celebration for the Sham Morning Show. That's so great. Oh, well. In a move that seemed to distance himself from the actions of Bisconte, Imholte sent an affidavit to the court stating that his probation says he is prohibited from directly or indirectly talking about disparaging and or harassing the victim online, on social media, and or during the online broadcast show that I participate or has control of. Imholte goes on to say that he did not broadcast, record, make available online, or give anyone permission to upload the event to the internet. Along with the affidavit, he also submitted a text to the court that he sent to Bisconte saying, Nick is gunning for me through shit you guys say. It's gay, I know, but I just don't do anything that could give him reason to fuck me over more.
Yeah, his concern is touching.
It's amazing. Observers in the courtroom on Tuesday explained that Peterson argued with the court regarding the validity of the evidence used in the sentencing. Judge Schultz explained that it did not work both ways. You cannot argue the sentencing after it has passed. If you had a problem with the evidence, the defense attorney should have requested a hearing before the sentencing date. Imholte's epiphany. Onlookers in Judge Schultz's courtroom said that Imholte addressed the court and those in attendance. The following has been paraphrased from what viewers in the courtroom heard. This is what Aaron apparently said. In 2023, I entered into a degenerate, toxic relationship that never should have happened. I regret it and have been going to therapy. I have become a Christian and have been redeemed by my Savior, Jesus Christ. I want to thank my son. I want to teach my son to be a better man. Words cannot express how sorry I am, referring to his victim. We loved each other at one time. Those feelings were betrayed by my actions, because of which I have had my faith tested, optimism challenged, and my reputation has been tainted. I've been laughed about, and this is my reality. If the court shows me mercy today, Geno Bisconte will never work for me again.
Oh my God.
That's the crux of everything.
He literally said, and if you guys will take some pity on me, I'll never work with Geno Bisconte ever again. During Imholte's speech, he brought up the HROs that he has requested for the victim's husband and the second HRO for popular YouTube show host Patrick Melton from Nobody Likes Onions. At this point, the prosecutor objected, but Judge Schultz wanted to make sure everyone had their right to speak respected. Imholte continued, saying the reason he took out the HRO on the victim's husband was due to the publishing of a bedroom photo that was seen at a Las Vegas convention known as Hackamania. Well, then why the hell did he wait till June 26th? That Hackamania was long over at that point. Seems odd.
He thought it was pretty hot up till then.
Right. He was complimenting himself. He's like, I'm in good shape. Those that were there said that Imholte pleaded with the court to not take a father away from his son and a son from their parent. He added that he was a changed man and not a threat to anyone. Spectator said that Aaron Imholte's final words were, all praise be to Jesus Christ, the main God. Have mercy on my soul. All right. This is obviously all fascinating stuff for anyone who's paying attention to the Dabbleverse. Fun. We're enjoying it. But I want to remind everyone what happened back on June 25th when Aaron was going in for his original sentencing hearing after he had that plea deal where he was just going to get a $50 fine, a slap on the wrist, move on with his life, and he was rubbing that in all the haters' faces. This is going back in the Wayback Machine, June 25th, 2025, the original
that
date.
The hearing is scheduled for 15 minutes. So it does kind of sound like we're just going to, everyone's going to read their stuff that they brought. The judge is going to, go through the sentence that we agreed to at the plea hearing, and they're going to shuffle us out of there, So the actual, the lead up and everything of, it's kind of like everything else with this whole deal. It's like, let's hurry up and get this thing over with. And it's been almost a year. I am excited that I get to get everything off my chest today, that I get to say everything I want to say.
About Jesus? Was that what you were excited to talk about? How much you love Jesus Christ? Because that's what it turned into a couple months later. I don't know if it was the same statement that he was going to have back in June or not.
Because I haven't been allowed to. So I haven't. I get to do that today. And once I do that, like I've done for the last week or so, I will consider it all done. All feuds are over on my end. All this whole last year and a half, not quite 2 years. This last year and a half or so is all gets to be a bad memory. It all gets to be a bad dream.
That is one of the funnier things about what happened back at the end of June. Guys, today's the last day we ever talk about Nick and Kayla Rekieta. We're moving on with our lives. And the next morning, he took out an HRO, a harassment restraining order, against Nick Rekieta. The day after this happened, he's like, yep, we're moving on. We're never going to talk about this again. I'm so glad to just get this over with. Wrong.
And I get to move on with my wonderful, incredible life with amazing people who care about me. Again, I
just want to point out, no one showed up to the courtroom.
Yep.
Not a single family member or friend of Aaron showed up to the courtroom.
That's why it's the loneliest picture of his walk to the courthouse.
It really
just him.
is.
Very excited to be done with the whole thing. And there's going to be people who are disappointed by today. I want to tell them, stop investing so much of your life into strangers.
Oh, it's smug Aaron. I was waiting for him to show up to this. And just so you guys fucking know, I'm killing it over here, and you guys can't take it.
I'm buddies with Jesus.
Yep. Oh, you don't have a friend named Jesus? You should get one. It's pretty fucking cool.
You won't have to have these feelings all the time. And no matter what you do, I know you're going to be upset. Do not come to me to work out your feelings.
Is that what's happening? Are the haters going to Aaron to work out their feelings? Or are they just going to the subreddit, Nobody Likes Onions, and this little piggy?
I was tuning in just to hear his thoughts on the government shutdown and waiting for all this to stop so he would get to it.
Right. He's always got a hot take on politics, this guy.
Let it go. I didn't care about your feelings to begin with in this whole process. I certainly am not going to care about them once it's all over and done with. I'm just, today is the day I've been waiting for, essentially. Todd, my attorney, who is fantastic. If you ever need somebody, call Todd Peterson.
Pass.
Todd has kind of laid out the lay of the land for me today. We're all set. Like I said, we made our deal, so there's no secret there. And now it's just...
The secret is the judge doesn't like it.
Yeah.
That's the secret.
Getting it all... The plea itself is in writing. That's all done. Now it's just having the judge kind of tell us what we already know.
Wow. And this is what his attorney, Todd Peterson, told him was going to happen. Boy, was he wrong. I don't know that I want to work with this man.
He's fucking insane.
Is that crazy?
He is absolutely insane. What was revealed here to me was, like we suspected, the judge is watching all of this.
Yeah.
They're watching the show. They're keeping check on it. And he thinks a judge that was just watching all of that will believe when he shows up and he's like, I believe in Jesus now. He's my main God. He thinks they're just going to accept that, like we haven't been watching this the whole time. They know who you really are.
Right.
They really do.
Well, so what happened was Aaron goes on his stream last night after we did our bonus show.
Yeah.
My wife was making us some delicious salmon. And I go, hey, look at Aaron's live. And so producer Chris and Jen and I sat down at the dinner table. We watched some Toe. I don't usually watch Toe live.
No, we watched a magic show.
Yes, I was fascinated by this because he described what happens in the courtroom and what happened earlier that day. So this is from yesterday the 30th, and he went on in the evening for his evening show. A goal-free evening show. I mean, what a treat. What a nice guy to give us a goal-free evening show for this. And I am very excited to tell you that we do have a special guest, a man who has been disavowed by the Toe, unfortunately, but somehow, miraculously, was also in the courtroom. Geno Burro is here. What's up, Geno?
Carl, sweetie, baby, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I am on 6 hours of sleep, but Daddy does it. Even in 48 hours, I still somehow laid on my bed and then completely panicked about 5 minutes ago. So I'm sorry, but Daddy's here.
Buddy. No worries, man. Thanks for being here, Geno. So I think you actually show up at the perfect time. Because
Wonderful.
This is where we're going to start breaking down what Aaron says happened when he was in the courtroom yesterday. And, of course, you were there, Geno. So I think you're going to have something to say about this.
Perfect timing. That's how Daddy do.
Look.
That's how Daddy do.
I'm sorry. If you came here expecting a certain thing, don't get mad at me. I know you guys get mad if I have a positive outlook or a smile on my face or I correct anything you say. Don't get weird on me. Don't you guys get psychotic, please. Because a lot of you got to learn to take it easy a little bit. I try to tell you, but you don't listen. There was a lot of shit. I was having a hard time keeping a straight face this morning because a lot of people were getting a lot of things wrong.
All right, I want you to remember this because we're going to find out as we watch this morning's episode and more of this episode that he was shitting bricks. He thought he was going to get 30 days in jail. And he's like, guys, I was just holding back these giant ear-to-ear smiles I was going to have as people thought I was going to get in trouble for this felony that I committed. And little did they know. Not even close. Well, it's a lot more than the $50 fine, though, right? The jail time that you're doing. Okay. I love how he spins it, like just like that. Geno, think about this. You saw this man just hours before this. And was this the attitude he had in the courtroom when he was talking about Jesus Christ?
No. This is not the friend I once had, my dear Christian friend Aaron Imholte, who has disavowed me, but that's okay, because Daddy do. Daddy don't need anyone, especially an audience. I'm still somehow doing things without an audience. How do I do it? I don't know.
God damn it.
Kiki, sell some blood.
If only Geno were always this funny. No one would be mad at Anthony Cumia if he was always this funny.
I did have my sentencing hearing today. It went better than I thought it was going to go. I haven't talked about it at all. I've been a very good boy, which was...
Wait, a second ago, didn't he just say he was all grins this morning because he knew what was going to happen?
Yeah, he couldn't keep a straight face.
And then he goes, it went better than I thought it was going to go.
Yeah.
So it's both of those things. Cool.
Also, adults don't refer to themselves in terms of legal matters as having been a good boy repeatedly. It's just not a good look.
Yeah.
Confirmed today.
I haven't sent a naked picture of a girl to a friend in months. I've been a really good boy.
Yeah, he really does talk like not only is there no victim, but that it's him. He doesn't even know he's supposed to pretend to feel bad for someone outside of himself.
Oh, he knows. He knows he's supposed to pretend. Holy shit, Adam. Is he pretending yesterday?
He's doing a bad job of it.
Appreciative
oh,
of that.
The great Jesus Christ. Or whatever.
The
and
main
may God
guy.
have
The
mercy
main
on
guy.
my soul.
Yeah, that's how he ended his statement. May God have mercy on my soul.
May God have mercy on my soul. Roll on, one.
I've seen his show before. He doesn't talk like that.
End scene.
Right.
He doesn't even actively go to church, Carl.
No,
he doesn't even actively go to church.
No, he watches the Minnesota game from Dublin. I know for a fact he was watching football at a buddy's house.
If he went even a little bit, there would be church members there to support him. There'd be letters from them.
You would think.
Right.
You
So
would think.
There was you, Geno.
There was no one. There was no one.
There was that thing that came out yesterday that the judge agreed was total bullshit, which I'm very happy about.
Okay, I'm not going to keep pausing it because I want to listen to what he has to say. But if you're a steel toe viewer, I always say this. He doesn't explain anything. He assumes that everyone's lurking in every subreddit and watching every episode of NLO and This Little Piggy, because what he's discussing now is what we were talking about earlier, where the 11th anniversary show, they submitted that as another violation of his bail. And so he's explaining, like, everyone knew that was total bullshit. It's just like, knew what was what? What are you talking about?
I think it was a last minute thing because I was being a good boy for the last 3 months, and this was kind of a last minute thing by the prosecutor. And you know
what, Aaron? What was the last what? What are you talking about?
I get it. Look, it's her job to, do her thing. So I'm not mad at her, but we kind of knew it was bullshit from Jump Street, so we weren't too worried about it. It was nice that they saw through that in the court. The other thing, I was watching today, I was watching some of the chat, and some people were just apoplectic. Some of the steel toe hate people were just apoplectic, like their life was going to be ruined if I wasn't, like, hauled away in cuffs today. I don't mean to, I could have spoiled it for you this morning, but I figured I was just going to let you wait. I was never getting led away in cuffs today.
Aaron, you thought you knew it was going to happen back in June, and you were completely wrong. This fucking smug prick is just like, you guys are such idiots. I knew exactly what was going to happen.
You thought you were getting 30 days.
Yeah. It's such an idiot.
Did he call Daddy an octoroon? Is that what he called me, an octoroon?
I think so.
Like, that was never going to happen. Like, even the judge said today, she laughed at the idea. She was like, I don't even do that for felonies. And so that was kind of the first thing I laughed at. The other thing that
was he laughing along with the judge?
Yeah. And the only time the judge laughed was when his lawyer was trying to make a point that they have to review this evidence, even though someone had already reviewed the evidence and said that Daddy's good to go. Daddy's good to go. You can bring this to the court. This was a violation. I don't remember her laughing and throwing it out, quite honestly.
That's hilarious. Yeah, because the only thing that the judge was like, I'm sorry, did you want a trial on this?
Yeah.
This is your sentencing hearing.
Right.
We're past the trial. What's going on?
That's the only thing I remember her throwing out was his motion to review the evidence again. When are we going to finish this? This is sentencing.
you guys were, the minority of you were going off about, was like, oh, yeah, it's going to be a felony. It's going to be. And I'm like, guys, it's a deal. Like, we do the guilty plea and then the felony's dismissed. Like, there was a gasp. There was I heard a few people go, huh? When they said, yeah, the felony's dismissed. And we're like, yeah, guys, that's the whole reason we did this. Like, I don't understand why people thought that. I don't know what bad advice they were listening to. Then there were a bunch of people. And I'm not going to bust these people's balls because
All right, Geno, I have to ask you, what Aaron just said is that when they mentioned that the felony was off the table, that he was pleading to the gross misdemeanor, there was a gasp in the courtroom. Everyone was like,
well, this is why Daddy wanted to make sure that Daddy was there. Just like Daddy was there when the New York Mets beat the Red Sox in the 1986 World Series. Carl, do you remember when the guy missed the ball? He missed the ball. Well, Aaron is missing the ball. I'm even making too much sense for Geno. But no, there was no gasp for that. The gasp was when they said, Mr. Imholte, we sentenced you to 364 days.
right.
That's when the gasp happened. That's when.
He's gaslighting.
He's gaslighting. Chris, you're beautiful, handsome, you got great hair, great personality. Do you remember the time the movie with the aliens and Will Smith had to come, and then the New York Rangers won the Stanley Cup in 94, but no one cared because OJ was running at the same time. He took himself hostage like Aaron took our friendship hostage. You know what I'm saying?
Geno, I need you to just focus on the vaccines. Are they
I'm
effective?
sorry.
Are they effective? Or are they not effective? Did Fauci do a good job with the pandemic? All right, let's move on.
Carl, don't get me started.
I won't.
We're a little more. They were a little closer to where I was thinking. They're like, you're gonna go away for you're gonna have to serve like 30 days or whatever, and that's what I was thinking. Like
Okay, so now he's clowning the chatters who are going, you're going to spend 30 days in prison. And he's going, yeah, that's what I thought too. But a second ago, he's like, these idiots thought all this shit was going to happen to me, and it wasn't going to.
I was going into today going, look, we fucked up on the violation. That's legit. I don't think the prosecutor liked the deal that we cut initially. So if they got the violation, they were going to do what they could with it. So I kind of thought it 30. I'll say this about my sentencing hearing. This judge, unbelievably fair. Like, I mean,
Geno, you got this man thrown in jail. You know that, right?
All you got to do is not violate. It's real fucking easy.
Yeah.
I don't make people laugh.
Nope.
How do you want? And if you want to not getting in trouble, don't violate. Like the one time the violators came to Warren G and said, "You got to regulate."
That's true, Geno. That's a good point.
By the book, like just it's unbelievable. Like being a judge, how these people can just shut off biases and just do their job.
So Aaron's one of these children who experiences something new and then explains it to the rest of us adults. Like, you can't believe what judges' jobs are. It's to be impartial. What?
Carl, these
you don't
people,
say.
These people, they ride on the back of a truck. The truck stops at every house. They pick up the garbage. They throw it in the truck. It's unbelievable, baby.
It's remarkable how they do that.
I don't know. How do they do it? How do they pick up everyone's trash? It's impossible.
It's one of the rarest jobs in the world. I really do think defense lawyers are heroes because I do believe, in going through the system, I do believe that it's not.
All right, we'll get into that because he talks about that again this morning. Well, I want to get to this is pretty important stuff.
He's taking the LSAT, isn't he? He's taking the LSAT.
yeah. He talks about, he does the same Stuttering John fantasizing about being a defense attorney thing. We're going to hear from this morning's episode. But first, he addresses Geno. I think since we have Geno on the show, we should probably play this part.
Got a lot of questions on that one. I did say today that I am out of the Geno Bisconti business. That is 1,000% accurate. Look, man, the dude's reckless. What can I say?
All right, so I saw Geno on with Kevin Brennan talking about like, oh yeah, Aaron and I are joking about this. We're texting back and forth. Like, we're still boys. It doesn't matter. And Aaron like reiterated on the show this morning. He's like, no. I'm literally not doing stuff with Geno ever again. So how do you feel about this, Geno?
Carl, you saw, again, the word of the day is pretend. He's pretending. He was just pretending we're not friends. You can't leave Daddy's side once you're friends with Daddy.
It's true.
Just like
I've tried. I know what that's like. It's very difficult.
Geno Bisconti's a reckless guy. And you can't have reckless people like that in your orbit when you got crazy shit going on. You know, I really do feel like the weight of the world, Like there were so many different factions and thousands of people trying to shove you down into this box, like into this grave.
No, just the prosecutor. Just the prosecutor, Aaron. That's who it was.
There were only 10 of us there, Aaron. There were not thousands of us.
So stupid.
And you popped out of it, and you made it, and it's over with now.
He did.
But like,
no matter what, he's victorious. It's amazing.
After
You're
you
the
win,
fucking
I always
perpetrator, stupid.
say we won the war. Now, after you win the war, that doesn't mean you just gloat and you go, "Oh, we won the war," blah blah, whatever. These people are dumb, these.
Imagine getting sentenced to jail time, and hours later, you're talking about winning the war and how everyone else is dumb.
Well, he thought he was getting 30. The court gave him 15. He takes 8 of that, and he serves it. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh, it really is like a goal. He's like doing the net gross out. He's like, well, there's 15, but that goes down to 10 because it's only 2/3, and they're giving me 2 days. So this is why it's 8 days in jail. And Aaron keeps talking about this because it was 15 was the sentence. But I guess you only serve 2/3 of the time in Minnesota, so I don't even know why there's...
Saturday's movie day, so it doesn't count.
And everyone's calling Daddy stupid, but Daddy heard 15. How am I supposed to know 15 meant 10? We thought it was movie math, but it's Minnesota math.
It's Minnesota, right? Everyone in Minnesota does this, apparently. It doesn't make any sense.
But Daddy's the idiot.
So
they said 15. 15. The clock says 15. You better pay up.
So he has to do 10 days. He has to do 10 days. But he's being given 2. Now, one of the days was the morning that he gave away his apple juice box and read the beginnings of 2 books.
Yeah.
And then the other one was after the June 25th sentencing hearing when he was taken into jail for like an hour. And he's been given 2 days for the few hours he's spent in jail so far. So that's pretty nice of them, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
He's only down to 8 now.
Yeah, Daddy didn't understand that one either. Wait, he spends like a total of 4 hours in jail? You get 2 days?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Does he get to serve on the weekends? Is that a thing?
They're looking at that. What he said was, it's not up to him. He has a thing that he wants to do. His attorney has a thing that he wants to do, and they have like, what, October 17th? They have to go in and figure that out?
Well, they said they were going to figure. Well, October 17th is his date that he has to turn himself in by.
Right.
But they said on or around the 7th they were going to come to a decision on the weekend stuff.
All right, so he gets a $200 donation here, and of course, Aaron's feeling all his feels, and he's feeling like it's a victory for him.
$200 from Unforced Ego says another win for the toe. Ups to you for taking accountability for your actions, brother. Some people are incapable of self-reflection and repentance, so be grateful. Yeah, people were mad.
Is that guy watching the same show as us? Is that incredible? He's like, good on you, man. You've obviously figured out what you did wrong, and you've changed your ways. Okay.
Mad that I referenced my newfound faith. They were mad about that. That's helped me.
Mad.
No one's mad.
We thought it was fucking hilarious.
It's hilarious. Talking about Jesus Christ over and over again, but you've never brought him up on your show. It's very funny.
Daddy would have been mad if you didn't talk about it.
Yes.
And to do it to a judge as if they've never seen this bit before.
Right. I'm a different man now.
Wait a minute. This guy all of a sudden found God? This is so rare. Right before he went to prison or jail?
God must be sending a sign.
Yes.
So I was happy to profess that in front of a court, in front of people. If you're,
Just not a church or a
I'm going to try to
priest.
give you some advice, even though you're not going to.
Yeah, the one place he does. The only time he used to go to church is when he went with drug addicts. And they were all wife swapping.
This fucking idiot thinks he's going to fill the hole that Charlie Kirk left for some reason. like we're in a shortage of idiots who believe in God and beg you for money. We need Aaron. Aaron, where are you? We finally need you to fill a hole.
Like it, you're not going to
Besides
take it.
Nick's.
Nope.
If you live in your life for somebody else, whether it's me or anyone else, you're going to have problems. You're going to wonder why everyone else is so happy and you're.
Oh, this is lecture Aaron. We were watching Smug Aaron before. Now we're in lecture mode Aaron, where he tells us how to live our lives. I've never been sentenced to any type of jail sentence. I don't know why he's lecturing me, but what's that, Geno?
I was going to say my favorite is Brother Toe. I like when he turns into Brother Toe.
Yeah.
They're so mad all the time. I don't know what to I mean, again, I don't care if you figure that out, but I hope you do, because sometimes I see some of you and I go, God, that would be a depressing way to live.
He really does care about the haters, which is nice of him. A lot of these guys don't do that.
Ever since he found God.
Right. All right, so let's go to this morning stream. I have some choice cuts from this. It's a lot of the same stuff where, guys, you guys thought that bad things were going to happen. They didn't. I'm killing it. But then at one point he realizes that it's not really a win for the toe. Would that mean it's a loss for the toe? No, definitely not.
Whole thing. So yesterday, look, it feels a little like the Cowboys-Packers game, to be honest. Mm-hmm. It feels like people are saying, oh, it's a win, or oh, it's a loss. It feels like a tie.
Unbelievable. This man is incapable of ever taking a loss. Even when he gets sentenced to jail and he thought it was going to be a $50 fine, he goes, this is just like that football game the other night that ended 40-40.
Incredible. Come up with a biblical reference, maybe? Any kind of... No, it had to be sports.
Yeah. It's amazing. He feels like a tie.
It feels like a tie in a game you thought you were going to get blown out in. You're like, I didn't notch the huge victory, but, I didn't...
God, wasn't his team favored by 52 points back in June? And now he thought he was going to get blown out.
That's right. I didn't get kicked in the teeth either. I will say this. If there was one thing I could, protest and change about our criminal justice system, it would be that I think defendants need more rights. I was chastised by the state of Minnesota for having a sense of humor about...
is that why?
The way he's spinning this is incredible.
It's not that you broke the law live on the fucking show, asshole. You're on the fucking internet. We saw what you did.
My plea and everything else. And it's like people are allowed to cope with traumatic things in their life through humor.
Whoa. Did we all just... I'm going to back this up. Aaron just admitted to coping. This is something that only the steel toe haters do. They cope and they seethe. But Aaron just admitted that he was using humor in order to cope with the very serious crime that he committed and was busted for.
About my plea and everything else. And it's like people are allowed to cope with traumatic things in their life through humor. That is okay. Those are not violations. That's not anything like that. You're allowed to have a sense of humor.
Right. Only not the victims of revenge porn worldwide. They're not allowed to make jokes about you because that would be, seething. But when you do it, it is a healthy response to trauma.
He is so mad at the justice system after all of this went down. And we'll probably get to the clips, but he talks about how, you're not innocent until proven guilty. That's what they teach you in school. It's like, well, first off, you broke the law live on your show and everyone saw it. And then they called Geno and they go, hey, did he send you a naked photo of his ex-girlfriend? And Geno goes, yeah.
Oh, totally.
Yes, he did. Stop calling me. Yes, he did.
And to add insult to injury, Keanu's in the car listening to the call from the police officer and goes, yeah, I saw it too, officer.
That was amazing.
That's what she said. We were all there.
He's at the sentencing.
Yes.
You've been convicted. This is not up for debate, Aaron.
He pled guilty. He's like, they treat you like you're guilty.
A criminal.
Yes.
Why didn't he say any of this in his statement? He could have addressed the court at the court. I feel like I'm being railroaded. No, he said, I'm sorry. I did a horrible thing. I take responsibility. I found Jesus. He never once blamed the courts.
It's incredible how he can just do a turnabout like this. I don't know anyone else I've ever met who could pull this off or even try to pull this off. So this is crazy, and I'm interested in your take on this, all of you actually, because I'm not exactly sure what Aaron is hinting at here.
Okay, but there was a thing, I'm going to tell you about it someday, and I think it's going to blow any amount of faith you maybe had in our system, because it kind of speaks to how even when you are the victim of a crime, if you've ever done anything in your life, you have no rights. It's really wild. I don't think it's a systemic thing. I think it's a personal failure, a personal corruption. But I have been advised by counsel to file reports on it.
Okay. He's talking about corruption, but it's not systemic. It's just against him.
It's personal.
And he's been advised by multiple people to file reports on it. What the fuck is he talking about, Geno?
I don't know, because he also said he's a victim
Yeah.
Yeah.
of something. So I guess maybe his lawyers are trying to say, hey, man up. No one cares if anyone shared pictures of you with your big titties hanging out.
maybe that's what it is.
Like, what are you doing? You're embarrassing yourself
Maybe that's what
using
it
this
is.
as evidence. When has a man ever complained about a topless, as you put it, T-O-P-L-E-S-S?
Yes.
Don't worry, you'll do it when you get up here. Picture of a man. No man has ever brought a picture of himself without his shirt on and said, Your Honor, I'm a victim of revenge porn as well. That's the only thing Daddy can think of.
Well, he showed one nipple, and they showed both of his nipples, so that's double the crime.
I believe
Exactly.
I believe that's the first time someone's done an impression of Geno doing an impression of Ron the limo driver.
you
Ronnie.
go.
So that's impressive, right? That's a first on this program right here.
Multiple counsel. So I will probably be talking about that at a later date. And
This is the guy who's like, this is all behind me. We're moving on. I don't want to have to deal with this anymore. And there's a weight off my shoulders. He's just like, and by the way, we're definitely going to keep shit going with these assholes. Whatever he's talking about. Very funny.
That's fine, because I have a feeling they're going to keep going with you. He thinks this is the end. Daddy thinks this is just the beginning.
I'm with you on that, Geno. So now all of a sudden he turns into, oh my gosh, I just feel for the people who aren't as fortunate as I am to be represented by this guy, Todd Peterson, who's so amazing, as we've all seen. And so now he's starting to feel bad for the other people in the legal system.
about you. It's like, honestly, going through this, it made me like, I had a mild panic attack for other people. It was either yesterday or the day before, because I was like, I was just calculating just how many people in your local community are. I worry about how many innocent people are in jail. Like yesterday, I thought,
One of the amazing first, he had a mild panic attack. Think about all of those less fortunate people than him who are getting
He
railroaded
didn't
by the
find
system.
Jesus. He is Jesus.
Yes, you're right. It's incredible.
like, man,
I
if I could have
almost
taken.
cared enough to have a panic attack, Carl. I almost cared enough to almost have a panic attack.
It was mild. It was mild.
It was mild.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
for
yeah.
your sins, for all of your sins, not for mine.
Any different steps in life, I would have been a defense attorney, because I think being,
Okay, this is great. I got to back this up real quick, because we've been talking about this with Stuttering John and the LSAT, and how when he becomes an attorney in a couple of years, which he will pass the bar, and Anthony Cooper will pay for all of that. What he's going to do is he's going to lower his rates a lot lower than other attorneys, because he wants to give back to those who are less fortunate.
Oh, that's
This
beautiful.
is what children do when they're fantasizing about becoming a virtuous adult. And then you realize that you have fucking bills to pay, and you're like, no, let's try to make as much money as possible and be as good at what we do as we can be. But the fact that Aaron and John are both now, because they're involved with attorneys, are fantasizing about becoming an attorney and changing the world. Both of these idiots are doing this.
Right, it's like when a kid goes to a sports game and gets all excited and goes, I'm going to be a baseball player.
Right, I did that. I was
Right.
6.
I worry about how many innocent people are in jail. Like yesterday, I thought, I'm like, man, if I could have taken any different steps in life, I would have been a defense attorney, because I think being a defense attorney, you can really help people.
Adam,
If you
comments?
wouldn't, if you could do it over again, you wouldn't have sent the revenge porn to Geno. That's it. That's it.
Good point. You wouldn't even know the defense attorneys were up to.
And if you want to stick it to the government, you want to fight back against a corrupt system, I think you have to do it from the inside. And being a defense attorney might be a good way to do that. I really do think they are the heroes and the knights and the guardians.
And you're one of them, Aaron, so that's amazing. You're on team defense attorney, as we just established.
And the Lilies and the Oscars.
I get it.
Of our system, those in judges. I think if you work for the government, you work for the devil. I really do. Because I just thought yesterday, I'm like, the saying, I'd rather have 10 guilty men go free than one innocent person spend a day in jail. I feel that.
Wow. Moody pointed this out to me. He's like, Carl, you have to play this clip on the show today. Aaron pretty much just said that he was one of these innocent people who, unfortunately, because the system sucks and it's corrupt and they're just out to get you, that now he's doing jail time.
For our sins.
Who's gonna write a book about this guy? Not it.
Well, Carl, his statement, while filled with tons of references to Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior and God, the other half was just about how he knows how Kayla feels because he, too, is a victim. So he wasn't pretending all that much.
Is that incredible? Anthony Cumia is here. He says, am I going to have to pony up another law school scholarship? Yes.
Boss, I want to be a lawyer, too. I want to be a lawyer, too, boss.
You're paying for Geno as well. Sorry, Ed.
I need to keep my electric on.
So this is so incredible that he just said, he's like, yeah, if there's one innocent person behind bars, then the system is broken for that reason. And I feel that.
Yeah.
And then he realized, like, oh, shit, I pled guilty to a crime that I committed that everyone saw that I committed. And so watch his saving face real quick.
And I worry about others who didn't do anything wrong. Like me. Dad, I did something wrong. But
right. You just feel like you didn't do anything wrong.
There's that mild panic attack.
People who didn't do anything wrong and they just don't have the resources and the state can slander them, lie about them, hammer them down, beat their souls. Maybe they're not as internally tough as I am. They don't have a sense of humor and a way of dealing with things like, hey, life goes on. You learn your lessons. What do? Teach people. But I worry about, the mentally ill. I worry about the poor. I worry about these people.
The blacks! You've been talking about the blacks this whole time! Just say it! Quit beating around the bush!
I'm trying.
Bush had a song in the 90s called Glycerine.
They did, yeah.
People thought it was Listerine. Do you remember that, Carl?
It was a big hit for them. Yeah, it was their ballad.
Sorry, Daddy's all over the place.
I don't remember, and I didn't take Bible studies, but I don't remember Jesus being smug. Was there a point where Jesus was just like, the meek, maybe I'll give you the earth at some point. We'll see.
He went through a phase.
Yeah, were you there? Carl?
I wasn't there.
They only had so much paper and ink back then. They could have put everything in there about Jesus.
Don't care if the state doesn't care about the truth. They just care about getting their guy and getting a win and putting a plus on their win percentage on the back of their baseball card, and these poor get railroaded.
Nothing ironic there.
Wow. He's literally talking about his show. Everything with him is a win, and we got to win, and we were beating the haters, and that's what... I don't think he should be in the justice system the way that he thinks it operates. I'll be honest. It seems like a bad idea.
Carl, I gotta go, baby. I love you, handsome. Thank
love you, Geno. Thanks for stopping by.
I'm sorry, Daddy overslept. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I need more friends. I'm losing friends. Please don't disown me, Carl.
We'll see you on Bedabbler Network Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you very much. El Harible, Tukey, Rocco, Geno, Burro, whatever the fuck just happened. It was a whole
and make
whirlwind.
sure to catch Geno selling used appliances online every day for discounted prices. They are wonderful. He's very smart. He's just loud.
All right, so now Aaron's going to justify why getting these 8 days in jail is actually nothing at all. I mean, it's literally not even spending any time in jail.
It just 8 days feels like nothing compared to the weight that's off my shoulders.
Oh, so he was stressed out about this. Oh, okay. I thought it was carefree. All right, good to know.
The weight that's off my shoulders. 8 days, it'll come and go. 8 days will come and go. How many times have you've been on a trip or you got a trip coming up and it's 8 days away and you're like, that's forever. And then blink of an eye. Here's what
Is he talking to us like we're his children?
Yes.
He's talking like he's looking forward to this.
But also the idea that he's explaining to us that like 8 days goes by pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Like you have an adult audience, Aaron. We're not sitting there on December 18th going, when's Christmas getting here? And you got to sit down and now here's the deal. It's going to seem like a long time, but...
You're absolutely right. It's the only time it's appropriate for you to refer to yourself as a good boy, is if you're talking to kindergartners trying to make a point.
Yeah, he really does look down on everyone who pays attention to him. And I've said this a lot. Aaron has no respect for his audience, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
he's correct about
I've seen his audience.
We've seen the audience. He's right to talk down to them.
He was praising the judge and the lawyers and the justice system, and then 5 minutes later, he's talking about how it's corrupt and it's all injustice, and he needs to overturn it himself.
Right. He's got to be the guy on the inside.
He's going to bring it down from the inside.
who makes the change.
Because it is difficult from the outside. I just want to point
It's harder.
I figure I got at least 40 more years spinning around on this rock. I got to find 8 days of that next 40 years to give, and then poof. The dumbest thing I've ever done in my life goes away.
Okay, couple things here. So first off, again, I don't know who he's trying to help cope with this. I think it's himself. He's trying to soothe himself with this, where it's like 8 days sounds like a lot of time in jail, but I mean, I got 40 more years to go. 8 days, what is that? As a percentage wise, it's pretty low. But then he also says, and that will get rid of the biggest mistake I ever made in my life. I thought the biggest mistake was bringing his children around drugs. He thinks it's sending a naked pic of Kayla to Geno? Because I remember months went by when he was being a really bad parent and doing a lot of horrible things and putting his children in harm's way and risking his whole family.
Yeah.
Losing custody, not being able to see his children and grow up with them.
And he cared about the futures of everyone else involved, which is why he called the cops.
Well, right. Let's not forget that. But now the biggest mistake he made was sending a pic to Geno and bragging about it.
That's the biggest mistake today.
And he'll never talk to Geno again, so you don't have to worry about that ever happening.
Yes. Amazing.
Scott Jonesy with it.
Okay, so I think there's one more thing I want to play from here. But I'm really glad that Geno came on. I wish we could talk to him more about what happened in the courtroom. If you want to watch, he called into NLO yesterday, called into Patrick's show, and really did a great job breaking it down. Well, also another guy, Boots on the Ground, who sent me a really good overview of everything that happened in the courtroom. So very funny event. I wish it was broadcast live. That would have been fantastic.
So my attorney was very interested and in the fact that people were organizing a harassment campaign to try to have me harmed.
Okay, listen to this delusion. So in Aaron's world, it's everyone against Aaron. Aaron's always the victim. He's on top, but he's a victim. Your jobs will be influencer, millionaire, victim. It's the whole South Park thing. So in Aaron's mind, there's an organized harassment campaign against him that's trying to have him harmed. Listen to this.
Whenever I go in, that has been reported and that will be dealt with. Again, I think that's a sign of crippling mental illness, and you should probably get that checked on.
You mean thinking that Tukey and Schizo Sean wanted you harmed? Is that what you're talking about, the mental illness part? Because I agree. He's really projecting this out on these people who showed up so they could witness what happened and then come on shows and talk about it. That's what this is. This is entertainment. Aaron's put himself in this predicament where he's an entertainment show and he's this guy who's the villain of the Dabbleverse or whatever and the heel and everyone loves to hate me. And there's like people show up because they want to talk about the thing. It's just like, you're trying to hurt me.
It's not that organized of a campaign.
It's not
really.
organized at all. I was trying to get a flight last minute, but it was very difficult. I was gonna meet Tukey in Minneapolis, but it was a whole thing. Hold on, I'm getting a text from Moody.
What I like about this is that he delivers it all directly to the camera, and he thought about that, so we would feel like he's talking directly to us.
Yeah.
All right, listen to this. Moody says, "This is about me. I'm assuming he's twisting something I mentioned on WTP and NLO, which is that it might be possible to get in contact with other inmates at Stearns County and ask them about Aaron, a public figure, when he's in jail. It's not a harassment campaign, and no one is intending to do harm to Aaron." Yes, we did talk about this on my show yesterday. I thought it was brilliant. That was a brilliant idea to talk to people who have to deal with Aaron on a daily basis. Just interview them. That's all we talked about. After looking into it further and reading the Toe Secret X-Files post from earlier today. Weekenders are not part of Gen Pop, so there'd be no point in doing any of it if Aaron is only spending weekends in there. That being said, Aaron seems to think that he can describe himself as a claim to be a public figure and then claim any sort of reporting on him as harassment. Yes, Moody, good point. Reporters talk to inmates about their public figure inmates all the time. Mm-hmm. That's all that's happening here. Aaron lies about almost everything. So it's worthwhile to get other primary sources who can corroborate on the parts of the story that were true. Yes, which is why we needed people in the courtroom to explain when there were gasps and when there weren't gasps. But also, thank you, Moody, for sending that in, because I was not picking up on that harassment campaign. I thought he meant the fact that Schizo Sean took a photo of him walking silly and posted it on X. That's a good point, though. So I guess, watch out. New Zealand, man. Police will be knocking on your door. You get a free trip to the U.S. after this.
In my opinion. L Omega Red Boy says, hey, you're not in jail? That was another thing yesterday. I had to keep a lot of stuff quiet yesterday, but there were a few things I was kind of laughing at the anti-steel toe people about, because I think the reason they're mad today.
You mad?
No.
Adam?
No, I feel great.
Moody?
Is that you notice anytime like I tell them what's going on and they don't want to believe it, it's you're lying. It's like, well, guys, I'm living it. Sorry, I know what's going on.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yep. Aaron's been wrong about everything so far. Even when he's like, I thought I was going to get 30 days. I only got 15. Even then. And he's still claiming he knows everything that's going on and he's the puppet master.
And in last night's show, he said he wasn't going to gloat about this.
He did say that.
Always lying.
He can't help it.
No.
He can't help but gloat.
But I think what they're mad about is they set themselves up for these delusions, and then those delusions didn't come true, so they had to cope about it somehow.
Disappointed!
Yesterday, they were like, you're going to jail today. And like, I knew.
You're going to jail later this month. Whatever. No one's upset about it.
You're going to jail today.
Yeah, what's he talking about? But just to point out, he's already gone to jail twice. That's why he's got the 2 days.
Yeah.
He's already got it twice for this felelly.
He did an apple juice review.
Right, so people aren't just like kicking cans down the street going, God damn it. He only went to jail twice, and then now there's going to be a third time down the road?
I'm so mad.
He told us ahead of time, I will be going to jail. This will be happening, so look out for it.
No, it's not.
What?
No.
A long time ago that I wasn't going to jail today. Or yesterday. I knew that we knew we weren't.
Wow. The things he needs to find victories from.
I know.
Is very incredible. Yeah. We know. You'll go to jail eventually. Okay, cool.
He had one power move left in his arsenal, and it was to not do a show. If he didn't immediately do what we all knew he was going to do, which is run on the air and bitch, he had some kind of power and capital he could have used to actually make money further down the line, but he just did. He blew it all in this one shitty show.
Oh, and he's very happy with himself, too.
Yeah.
This all worked out very well in his mind because he got some big donos. And he was already talking about, like, the goal. I don't even know if it's, like, next Tuesday or something. Like, he's good with goals for a few days.
Yeah.
And nothing makes this man happier than having future goals taken care of. Because then he sleeps real easy.
Well, he'll come back in and be like, well, I gave you guys a break from the goal, so the goal today is $800.
Well, he should probably do that because he's going to miss some time. And he does have to pay some money to people. And so, yeah. Oh, that's what I remember. I wanted to tell you guys about the sentencing.
The diagnostic test.
Yes. This is funny. So this is the sentencing right here that I'm not showing on the screen, but I will when I remember to do it. Okay, here we go. And so you can see he's got the 364 days, time to serve 15 days, and the stay is 349 days for 2 years. I mean, let's not forget there's also probation going on. So the term of 2 years being monitored for probation is not nothing. I wouldn't want that. Fees, the total is $1,139. That is 4 goals. 4 morning goals. Shit. God damn it. And then, so this is the craziest part. Cognitive skill training. successfully complete a cognitive skills program such as thinking for a change as directed by agent. Thinking for a change. So he's got to go take one of these courses that, like, for, you know, people who make rash decisions or anger management or whatever. It's just like, now what should you have done?
That's funny because he's talking to his audience like they're idiots.
Yes. And now he has to go take one of these courses. Wait till he learns so much about himself and he comes back on the show. He's just like, guys, you know that you could take a beat and process information before you just start reacting to it? I just learned this. It's amazing.
Yeah, but that's best case scenario. Chances are he's not going to pass that course because he's going to have no idea what they're talking about.
Right. No. You got to get out in front of it.
Yeah.
They're like,
attack.
No. What you do is like take a minute, maybe even sleep on it, and then decide how best to proceed after that.
I'm going to send you a picture of my ex-girlfriend really fast. You tell me.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about, Teach.
Yeah.
Who are these podcasts?